Welcome back to Good Day State Line. Navigating the law is his focus, and I'd like to welcome back to the show attorney at law Zachary Townsend from Pro Legal Care. Hi, Zach.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming back to Good Day State Line. So for anyone who maybe missed the first time you were here, tell us a little bit about Pro Legal Care and how it came about.
Pro Legal Care law firm. It's my office. I started it. We're based here right in Rockford, Illinois. I'm licensed to practice in Illinois since 2011, and I was licensed to practice in Wisconsin in 2012. I became a lawyer because I like to help people, and having a general practice law firm like ours really gives me the opportunity to do that.
And you're here to tell us a little bit today about orders of protection, which involves helping people.
Yes, it
for
does.
sure.
Yes.
So share with us, when would someone need an order of protection?
The classic example is a relationship of physical abuse. You think of broken bones or black eyes, but shaking somebody, shoving somebody, that's physical abuse. Pushing somebody, restraining somebody against their will, that's physical abuse. If you don't let somebody call for help when they need help, that's abuse. If you throw something at somebody, that would be physical abuse. And even if it's a minor thing, it may constitute physical abuse.
And you mentioned physical violence is the most common reason why you would, is it?
I would say it's I don't know if it's the most common, but it's the classic example that most people think of when they think of orders of protection.
But is it the only reason?
No, no, not at all. Non-physical abuse is a basis for orders of protection. In fact, most orders of protection probably include relationships where there were no physical violence or physical abuse. Emotional abuse, psychological abuse, these are real, and harassment, stalking, intimidation, all of that is abuse. And harassment is basically unwanted contact. So if somebody tells you, leave me alone, and you don't, that's harassment. If they say, don't text me anymore, and you continue to text them, that's harassment. It doesn't have to be in person. It doesn't have to be threatening. It just has to be continued unwanted contact, and that can be a basis. Also, if somebody has your kids and they won't tell you where they're at, that can be a basis for an order of protection. So some people who experience non-physical abuse, they need protection too.
And do you need a police report, or how is that related to an order of protection?
No, there's a very common myth that you need a police report. You don't. Sometimes the respondent in an order of protection case is charged with a crime. Sometimes the petitioner is the victim in that crime, but no arrest is necessary. No police report is required. In fact, most orders of protection are obtained without any police report at all.
And do you need a lawyer to have an order of protection?
Absolutely. You need to consult with a lawyer. Every case is unique to its own facts, and you need to speak with an attorney to diagnose your case, to evaluate the strength of your claim. But the Winnebago County Domestic Violence Assistance Program has wonderful non-attorney advocates that help people who need representation. And abuse situations, at desperate times, call for desperate measures. So representing yourself sometimes is your only option. So you can apply for one without an attorney, but we offer free consultations to meet with an attorney experienced in the area to speak with people to let them know what their options are.
That's great. That's very, very important that you offer that. So when you have an order of protection, how exactly does that get enforced?
That's an interesting question. Now, there are a variety of no-contact orders. Some of them are civilly enforced. Some of them are criminally enforced. An order of protection can be both. So civil enforcement is when the judge, using his or her inherent contempt authority of the court, so contempt of court, in other words, is one enforcement. That's through civil court. The law enforcement authority enforces the violations occasionally of orders of protection as well. So that is when you would call 911, and somebody might be arrested if they violate the order of protection, and then they would be charged with a criminal misdemeanor.
So you mentioned that you have a free consultation, but you also have financing options if somebody was to need your help with an order of protection?
Yes, we do have financing options. We know that these things are often unexpected, and we have options to fit any budget.
And what advice do you give somebody who thinks that they might need an order of protection?
Document, document, document. Write it down. Make sure that while it's fresh in your mind, you have taken a note. You can keep a notebook by your bed and just spend a few minutes a day, and that can make a world of difference. Because when you look back, you're not going to remember this really clearly. Lots of people take notes on their phone nowadays or send emails to themselves, which are great because they're time-stamped and they're there. They don't go away. So please document what happens. That's very important.
That is really great advice, Zach. If anyone needs to find you, where could they go?
ProLegalCare.com.
That's so easy to remember.
It is.
ProLegalCare.com. Thank you so much for explaining all of this to me and to everybody today.
Well, I really appreciate you inviting me on.
Absolutely. Michelle Markham is hanging out with Ryan at the new Bristle and Timber, and he's got some fun in store for you at his DIY studio workshop. We'll be back with more Good Day Stateline.